What is up, YouTube family and folks? This is Kevin's Perspective Podcast, back with another perspective because everything has a perspective. How are you doing? I am doing good. I am doing great. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way in. Shouts to Vocal Vision, expressing what it seems to accomplish a dream. That is the king. You feel me? Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. You see the thumbnail, you see the title. Let's talk about changes. So if you haven't been following, Miss Blac Chyna, now known as Angela White, has been going through a spiritual awakening and a change in her appearance, in her personality, in her life in general. She got baptized. She found Jesus. She stopped doing OnlyFans. She's on a world tour right now, or a press tour, talking to different people about her transitions in life. She's changed a lot of her appearance by taking off certain and getting surgeries for certain parts of her body and tattoos and all this other stuff, right? So for me, I completely support people who change for the better or feel as though they have found a spiritual awakening in God, in a religion, in Christianity, in whatever that may be for them, as far as being a higher sense of self and having a higher sense of purpose in life, right? And I was in complete support of Blac Chyna, just like I am with anyone else who changes. Like, we talk in this space about Brittany Renner, like, you know, she went on different podcasts talking in different talking points that's kind of contradicts what she's been believing in her previous past podcasts and videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? You can't really hate on that. You know, I never really hate on anyone who changes, even for a little bit. Even for the little bit, I can't hate on that. But recently, she came out, Blac Chyna, Angela White, came out and said that she just got a doctorate degree in theological seminary and Bible school. She got it in January. That's what she said. That's what she posted. She got a doctorate degree in theology, seminary, and Bible school. Now, this is when all of my support just flew straight out the window, completely gone. Because now all I hear is rollout. All I see is rollout. Rollout. Ludacris is just banging in my head right now. So much money, you can't stop that. That's all I hear, because now you're just blatantly trying to fool people. Now, OnlyFans has been popping for about 2 to 3 years now. It really started in the pandemic. It's been around longer than that, but during the pandemic is when OnlyFans really got popping. And most celebrities didn't get on there until about a year later. They really started making some money, or 200 million, as she would say. So you're telling me that, and we're going to say that getting a doctorate in any degree takes about 6-7 years, maybe, depending on how fast tracked you are. It might be 4 to 5. But you're trying to say that when you started OnlyFans, you already had a bachelor's in Bible school. Stop the cap. Let's put this in context here. You're trying to say that before you even started OnlyFans, you already had a bachelor's in seminary and Bible school. And you're trying to say that you had a master's while you were on OnlyFans in seminary and Bible school. Now, if you don't know what a seminary is, a seminary school gets you prepared for worship leadership, pastoral leadership, and you just got baptized not too long ago. Now, the rollout, if you don't see it by now, in the next year, more than likely, we're going to be calling her Pastor Angela White. The redemption story from Blac Chyna to Pastor White. Because guess what? There is a lot of money in mega churches. there's a lot of money in having a church. Do not be surprised if you hear an announcement that Miss Angela White is going to be a pastor. We've seen this before because she has connections with the Kardashians. And we've seen somebody else who had connections with the Kardashians who also found themselves in Jesus. You guessed it, Kanye West. So do not be surprised if you see Miss Angela White, aka Blac Chyna, in a picture with Ye, aka Kanye West, at a church service. It's coming. And Kanye is supposed to be quote unquote running for office in 2024. So it all seems conservative. I just watched a video with Candace Owens talking about Blac Chyna's transition, and she talked about her very favorably, which pretty much sealed the deal because we already know what Candace Owens is when it comes to Kanye West and the Kardashians. You know where she stands. Political, spiritual agendas, absolutely. Why not make it a trend? I even go as far to say that there's an agenda even with the name change. Blac Chyna is evil, but Angela White is good. Maybe I'm thinking too deep into it. But the semantics is real. Did I ever believe that she was transforming? Absolutely not. I knew she was going through a transition because transitions require action. Transformation requires time. You can't see something that transformed until time is involved. Transformation, that takes a while. All that OnlyFans money, I guarantee you there's going to be a church built somewhere. And some pastor that's looking for clout is going to bring her into their church to give a sermon. It's coming. It's coming soon to a theater near you. But moving on. So Uganda just passed an anti-gay law. And everybody is up in arms, right? My thoughts on that is, and to be completely honest, why do any of us care about what's going on in Africa? I ain't gonna lie. This is the first time in my life I've seen anyone care as much about anything that happens in Africa. Even when they had the Ebola virus killing everyone in Africa, nobody gave a damn. Famine, homelessness, war, all types of stuff been going on in different countries in Africa, not just one. Most. Nobody cared. Nobody bat an eye. But now, since this has passed, and I understand it, the backlash and the sentiments, you say, well, how can they regulate how people gonna do with their bodies and live their life? But truth be told, you can't really regulate how they want to run their country. You can't regulate how someone wants to run their country, especially if all of them voted on it and the majority of the public agree with it. It's their country. They do what they want to do. You can't sit here and try to police someone else's country when your country is complete shit. You got your own stuff to clean up to be worried about what somebody else is doing with their country. We love to criticize someone else's house while our house is completely destroyed. To think that we should be able to police every other country in the world as if we have the golden standard for morality. Like we're the golden standard and the golden rule for how people should act and do and be in the world. If that's what they want to do, have at it. It's no different than any other country that do what they want to do. Other countries don't look at America and be like, yo, man, I don't want to get no more resources from them because I don't know what they got going on. They got drag queens dancing in front of kids in school. Like, I don't want nothing to do with them. You know what they say? It's none of my business. Hey, that's their country. That's how they want to run it. None of my business. We just going to continue to take our resources and keep these trades going and keep it moving. That's their business. If we got a problem, we'll just go to China. Everybody's going to China. All those toys you got in the room that say made in China, it's going to say everything made in China after a while. They are taking over the world. And Biden and Kamala are talking about everything but. We on screen looking at Trump get indicted. Who cares? I don't care what happened to Trump right now. Biden don't have an answer for nothing. He is lost. They are completely lost of talking about anything. They go to Africa to push LGBTQ conversations. Like that's all we need to talk about. These other countries don't even want to talk to Disney, let alone Joe Biden. Vice President Kamala Harris is in Ghana and President Biden is in Minnesota. What in the world is going on right now? When was the last time they even seen each other? I sit here and look at the president of Russia, China, Korea, Africa, Ghana, Uganda. All these people are just in pictures just smiling with each other, smiling. I don't see Biden nowhere. They just look like they're having a ball. They look like they cannot wait until this presidential election. America is the butt of everyone's joke right now. And we keep thinking we the best nation in the world. It don't look like it. They look like they are laughing. They are having a comedy fest right now. Speaking of Blac Chyna, how China is taking over all the infrastructure in Africa. Talk about a segue. Blac Chyna might just be symbolism as far as we know. But I'm going to leave that alone. That's not my forte. Just a couple thoughts. Couple perspectives. That's it. Moving on. Enough with Angel Reese. Lay off Angel Reese. Yes, she taunted the girls. Yes, they taunted each other. So what? It was competition. It was a basketball game. It is what it is. It ain't that serious. Let her play basketball. Stop throwing things out of proportion. It is what it is. We do not need no more celebrities. Y'all keep boosting up people to become celebrities and get popular that don't need to be celebrities or popular. We can celebrate people, but damn, they don't have to be all over your timeline. We like to boost up celebrities, make them popular, and then if they do something that isn't aligned with who we thought they were, even though we never knew who they were, then we want to cancel them. But they never should have been popular to begin with. Everyone's talking about just pearly things. For what? Why? Why are we surprised by anything that happened with her? Bill Burr explained just pearly things months ago.
Let's talk white women here, shall we? The way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. Somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression. I don't know how they did it. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women.
This ain't nothing new. We've seen this plenty of times. I don't know why people are acting like they're so surprised about what's going on. Y'all keep making these people celebrities and popular for no reason whatsoever. People looking at Charleston White, I can't believe he said what he said and did what he did. Look at him. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but they didn't say to never judge a book by its cover. Some covers are very accurate. Every time I see Charleston White, he looked like he just splurged that Family Dollar. These are people that y'all make celebrities. And then when they do something, you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Why don't you believe it? Y'all be following these people, listening to them. For what? Suge Knight brought it up years ago. Source Awards, 1995. People be all in the videos. These people are all on different channels, all in their videos, all in your algorithms, all on your timelines, and they ain't did shit for nobody. Nobody. Moving on. So I watched a news article speaking of a friendship recession, which was interesting because when we talk about dating, people always bring up how hard dating is. Even I brought it up. I had to think about it. It's not just dating. It's friendships in general, relationships in general. People have a tough time with relationships, period, not just dating and romantic relationships. When the last time you made a friend? When the last time you kept a friend? Forget a romantic partner. When the last time you kept a friend in your life? I'm not talking about people that you go to events with or hang out with from time to time, co-workers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone who you can be completely yourself and be vulnerable with, trust, be honest with, depend on, rely on, loyal to. When the last time you made that friend? All of your friends been with you since what? High school, college? When the last time you made a new friend? We're in a friendship recession is what they call it. And they say it hits men more. So in 1991, they had a study that said that 3% of men didn't have a close friend. In 2021, they said it was 15% of men didn't have a close friend. 5 times as many men said they didn't have a close friend. Women from the 1990s to now couldn't keep friendships. They lost touch with a lot of their friends. And I think that had a lot to do with movement, marriage, and relationships and different transitions in life. I just don't think that we realize how difficult it's been to build relationships with people just in general. Forget dating. And this happened way before the pandemic. We can't blame it on the pandemic. Yes, the pandemic influenced certain changes in relationship dynamics, but it's been going on way before that. One dynamic, which they kind of alluded to in their study, is the dependency of parents. A lot of adults depend on their parents more than they've ever had before. Their parents are damn near their peers now. Before they go to a close friend, they'll go to their parents first. Another dynamic is that people cut off their friends way more now than they ever done before, especially for relationships. You can cut off all your friends. And a lot of that has to do with not relating to each other anymore. You're the only married friend out of all your single friends. I can see why you don't have friends like you used to. Friends don't really have the same goals in life anymore. People in general don't necessarily have the same goals in life anymore. You know, the timeline of life used to be similar amongst people. After high school, you go to college or go to the military or get a job. And then after that, then you get a house. Then you get, you get married. Then you get children. Then it's like the timeline used to be similar amongst a lot of people. But now everyone is in different directions. You don't know where anybody's going. So it's hard to build relationships with people when everyone is going in different directions. You can't be friends. You can't be in relationships and date people who don't have stability. You meet somebody and you thinking you get to know them and they're already talking about moving to a different state. So there's not really any alignment to even have a foundation for a friendship or relationship. The only thing you start to do at a certain point is just use people for toolage. Oh, you doing that? All right, well, I guess I'll stay in contact with you just in case I need you. I think today's society has probably had the best community than it's had in years. But community doesn't translate to friendship. You look on YouTube, it's a big community of men and women in different spaces, but none of them know each other. None of them friends with each other. It's not like they trust each other. So it ain't just hard out here for a pimp. It's hard out here for friends. It's hard out here for people in general. But speaking of people, right? And speaking of people changing, since we talked about Blac Chyna a little bit and transitions and changing, I came across this video of a woman talking about how men switch up after certain points in the relationship, whether they become exclusive, have children, get married. It made me think about a different perspective and an honest one. Let's get into it.
As someone that has been married and divorced 3 times, I'm gonna let you know right now that the switch up is absolutely real. You are not imagining things, okay? There are a few breaking points, if you will, where men will switch up in a relationship. And I'm gonna give you a list of them. Number 1, when you become exclusive. That period of time when you cut off all of your other prospects, the men that you are dating or entertaining, and no, I'm not talking about sex for you men in the back. I'm talking about getting to know people, and now you decide that you're going to be exclusive with this one person. It is not uncommon for them to then switch up. Once where they were trying their hardest, they're spending time with you, they're bringing flowers and stuff. Now he's got you and he doesn't have to worry about that. So that's a very common point that they will switch up. Next one is when you move in or if you move location. So like cross the country to be with a man. Now you're in his house. Now you are isolated from your friends and from your family or from your roommates. And sometimes if an abuser is going to start abusing you, it could happen at that point. The next one, a lot of us know all too well, and that's when you become pregnant. Sometimes it takes you to become pregnant for you to see the real side of somebody come out. Now he sees you as damaged goods and he can do whatever he wants to you because in his mind, nobody else is going to want you in this condition. Now he can drop the mask and he thinks that you can't get away or get anywhere. The next one is marriage. Now he's got you locked down, sis. You got his last name. You're legally bound to him. He thinks he's in control. Mix that legal paperwork with that Christianity mindset of, I'm the leader of the family. You must do what I say and all those traditional roles. And that switch up can be real severe. Another point where that mask can fall off is if it's not when you're pregnant, when you actually have that child. Now all of a sudden he's not coming home and he's not, participating in the everyday rigors of raising that child, changing any diapers. He's left you to do it all, sis. He went from once a very helpful man to now you're feeling like a single mom in your own relationship or in your own marriage. And lastly, if you lose your income, this can also coincide with, having a baby or becoming pregnant. Now his mask is dropped and he's turned controlling because he thinks that you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything for yourself, and you have to ask him for money. Stay vigilant, ladies, and be prepared to leave at any point of time that they switch up on you.
All right, so honestly, this ain't a man versus women thing because a man can make this exact same video about how women switch up. This ain't really about that. I hate when people take generalized concepts and try to pander it to one side as if it doesn't apply to both. But to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, all of everything that she named was just because she was stupid. You were stupid, and it's all your fault. That is the truth. We have to stop blaming other people for our stupid decisions. It's not somebody else's fault that you were dumb. It's not. Everything that she named on that list was a choice that someone made. Nobody made them do it. You were just stupid. And we love to talk about manipulation, how somebody manipulated them. But truth be told, you can't manipulate someone who's smarter than you. Because when you manipulate someone, you outsmart them. And if you have dumb moments and make dumb decisions, then you're going to be easy to manipulate. So it's not their fault. It's your fault. You got into an exclusive relationship with someone you didn't know. That's your fault. You moved away from all of your friends and family with someone you barely knew. That's your fault. You got pregnant by someone you shouldn't have been with. It's your fault. You got married to someone you shouldn't have got married to. That's your fault. You were dumb and in love, an idiot in lust. And they were just as stupid as you were because more than likely they're the ones that came up with the stupid idea to begin with. That's why y'all were attracted to each other. Two peas in a pod. Let's just call a spade a spade. Stop playing. Forget all these dumbass excuses and explanations and finger pointing when you need to be worried about your decision making. You're not mad at your ex or anyone else. You're mad at your decision making. Don't try to teach people to be weary of each other. Teach people to be weary of their own decision making and to have better judgment and discernment and intelligence. Stop doing everything off of your feelings. It's stupid. But let's talk about the switch up a little bit because there's a different side to that. We love to point the finger at someone who changes because let's be clear. Everybody is going to change. I agree that people do change. I'm not going to disagree with that. But sometimes you have to look at what your contribution to a change may be. People don't just change sometimes. Everything around you ain't changing while you stay the same. We love to look at how the channels on the TV is changing, but never acknowledge how we're holding the remote and pressing the remote. People never want to be honest. See, that's the thing about these types of videos is that people act like they're keeping it real, but they don't never be completely honest. I can tell when somebody's not being real because I never hear any accountability in it. And she said in the video that she was married 3 times. Married and divorced 3 times. But yet it's everybody else's fault. Everybody else changed and switched up. She done had Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus. And she's going to talk about how they all canceled their subscriptions on her, but never talked about how she might have missed some payments. It has to start internally, because if it doesn't start internally, then you don't hear the humility. See, when you hold yourself accountable, you humble yourself. So it makes you question how you blame other people. And even if you do explain what someone else's contribution to you were, or to the situation were, you articulate it differently. It comes out differently. It's a different delivery, because now you're giving it from a different perspective that isn't infused in resentment, regret, disappointment. If you were dumb, just say you were dumb. Let's just start right there and then go forward. But that's all I got, man. That's all I got. My little rant. Leave your perspective down below. Tell me what you think. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace out.